Okay, so welcome back to Coffee Cafe. Yesterday we finally got to do our trial balance for the week 2, and yes, we were success. All of our debits matched our credits. So now that we completed our week 2, we're gonna start doing transactions for week 3. So where we left off is we're gonna start and continuing off of page 5. So again, I normally do this so then it keeps my transactions organized. So so we're going to be starting on page 5, and we're going to be starting on the next date, which is the 15th of June. All right, so take it away. Let's get started. So what happened here?
Okay, so June 15th, Saturday, set up store.
All right.
Okay. And then, second, we have pay LV Remodeling Company for the remodeling job. Invoice number 1754 and use check number 1513.
All right, so this one I thought I modified this, but apparently I didn't. So you don't use check. You're not going to use that check number.
Right, because we already used it.
Yeah. Okay.
Are we just using the next?
Yeah, whatever you want to do. I don't know. You're going to tell me what to do. How am I going to journalize this transaction?
So we go back to the journal. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to put in, what was the date? June 15th. Okay, so we're going to pay them.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure if we're doing subcontractor. No, that's not right. We're going to do accounts payable, right?
For the payment?
For the payment. Well, no, actually, it's going to be the LV remodeling.
I did subcontractor expense.
Okay, and that's what I have written here, but I was like, I didn't know.
Well, I don't know if I'm right.
That's where I would write the check from either. That's what I wondered.
Okay,
Did you
so
write it from?
here,
Or not write it from, but you know what I mean.
all right, first off, let's go ahead and determine a few things.
Okay.
If we received a bill, where did we place it?
In accounts payable.
Okay, more specifically, where do we place this bill?
Oh, is this the one that's in suspense?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
No.
But it is in the subcontractor expense, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've already acknowledged that the job has been done.
Mm-hmm.
This transaction here, what are you doing?
Paying the vendor.
You're paying them.
Yes. Paying, so LV remodeling.
Is that in an account that exists in your chart of accounts?
No. That is the subcontractor.
Okay, so we've already incurred the expense, all right? Now the key word here is we're making a payment.
Okay, so we have it backwards. Oops.
Well.
Okay, all right, so
Is it going to be our account that we're actually making the payment out of? I think we're doing it backwards. Is it going to be our checking account first?
if we are putting our checking account first, that usually means we're increasing our cash.
Back into
Right.
checking, right. So that's why I said accounts payable.
Accounts payable.
And then checking.
And then checking. Okay,
Yeah.
good, because we're
But I
paying
said it
something that
first.
we owe. No, that's good. That's
Maybe
right.
It felt like that was wrong, so I kept going. Okay. All right. So it is accounts payable.
Good, because we're paying off what we owe.
Right. Okay, so when I said that 5 minutes ago before all of this, nobody said anything.
Well, because we were in the midst of discussion.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay,
just want to make sure that that's right because I had it written down
good.
and I said that and there was no,
Crickets, huh?
yeah, it was dead silence. I was like, okay, it must be wrong. So, okay. So then that, and then the next one is checking, like we said. Which account number is that? And then where's account number? There we go. And that's 20,000 on the account number. Okay. And then let's see here. Well, we have to refer back to the invoice, right? Because I don't know how much the check is for.
And where do we find that?
Okay, so now we can look in well, can we look under vendors for that, or would we look under, let's see here.
That's what I went to vendors.
Good. So subsidiary ledger
Doesn't
is
have the invoice
correct.
number to reference.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So yes, the next step is you need to go look up on which bill is outstanding. So let's go ahead and go and find that vendor. So who are we looking for?
It's the LV remodeling.
All right, Elva Remodeling. What do you see here?
Okay, so for 1754, I see the amounts of $1,890.
Okay. Now we have to match our invoices. Is this the correct invoice that we are paying off?
That's what, yeah, invoice number 1754,
Good.
and that top one is also 1754.
Good. So now you know the amount. The amount that you're paying for is $18.90.
Right.
Okay.
Put that in both columns. Okay. But then I'm going to go to the check register
Okay.
because that's, like you said, we have to change that check number.
Mm-hmm.
So put in the 15th. And let's check 1514 for 1890. LV remodeling. Back to the journal and put in LV remodeling company check number 1514.
Good.
Okay, and then go to the ledger
Okay.
and for my, see, obviously I've done this sort of thing before, but I've never done it with this many steps. This is why it's like, this is such new territory. I'm just used to cutting a check and paying the vendor. All right. So now would I go to the subcontractor category?
What is identified in your journal?
Accounts payable checking.
So
So
just
this
those
is wrong. All right, delete.
So wait, what did you guys say? You guys both talked at the same time. Sorry.
I didn't say anything.
So what's your thought process right now? Since you said you want to go to subcontractor expense.
Well, because when we initially put it in,
Mm-hmm.
we used subcontractor. So I would think we would have, listed that as, well, let me look at it first. That'll help me too, maybe. That would have been,
Oh, it's in here too, right there. Mhm.
okay. So yes, because it's in there under the subcontractor expense. So do we have to do another transaction stating that we paid it to wipe that debt away in
Okay,
that category?
so this is where this is wrong. Okay.
Okay.
Reason is because, so the difference between now that we're established as an accrual basis, this right here is just telling me that the job has been done. I place this expense because the
Okay,
job
the
has been
okay, the
done.
balance.
Okay.
Exactly. Now
It's a
my
zero balance.
this
Gotcha.
yes. No. This is just telling me that I had a subcontractor expense, as in this job has been done. But my transaction right now isn't asking whether I have the job done or not. This is just me paying the bill off.
Okay.
So because I'm paying something I owe, whatever you wrote in your journal, and you're going to straight place it into the ledger exactly how you identified it in your journal. So in this case, does my journal tell me that I've recognized that the job has been done?
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
So in your journal, when you journalize this transaction, did you recognize that the job has been done?
No, I just recognized that I paid them.
Exactly.
So I would assume that it's done, but yes, I didn't state that.
It has been done because they billed you.
Right, because I paid. That's what I'm saying. I got the invoice, it's paid, so I assume that's done.
It,
So now
it,
do
it,
I
it
raise
is
it
done.
to
It
payable?
is done.
Right.
A contractor would never bill you if the job is not done, unless you're doing partial, whatever it is, project, whatever. But
Like
a subcontractor will never bill you unless the job is done. So the job is completely done. We already have our interior design already done. So the question is now, because you received a bill, your responsibility now is to pay the bill.
Right.
The job is already done. It's complete. So now we've recorded that we're making a payment to what we owe to this bill because it's due, right? If we look at our transaction here on when we received a bill on the 11th, we recognize that it's due on the 15th. And what is today? Today is the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
So here I'm paying my bill. The job is already done because they billed me already.
Right.
So my journal right here is only reflecting on my payment, on what I owe. So I'm going to go to my liabilities and say I don't owe them anymore because I paid them off. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this is where you're going to zero out the section right here. So if we look at the 11th, right, for invoice number 1754, here I owe 1890 now that I made a payment. So that's going to essentially zero out that 1890.
Gotcha.
So here, what information are you going to place here?
The check number.
You could, okay?
14. Invoice number from them. Invoice number, which is 1754. Okay, and now we're on journal 5 too, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so in the debit column, I'm going to do the 1890,
Okay.
right?
Exactly how you journalized it is how you're going to post it to the ledger. So here's my journal. What did I journalize it as? You journalized it as a debit for 1890.
Yeah.
Okay. So then my account balance should be now
$11,158.35.
good. And then what is next?
And then you have to go to assets
Okay.
and then checking.
Good.
And 15, 14. And then all 5. And then in the credit for 1890.
Bringing my grand total to be
$2,299.92.
all right. Good. Now what?
Let's see. That's it on that, right? That transaction is done.
We have to do the subsidiary ledger, right?
We need to do the subsidiary ledger.
Yeah.
And find LB remodeling. And I'm going to put in a date. Are we going to put in the check number?
You absolutely can.
Okay, 5014. And paid invoice. Would you state that here? That you paid the invoice 1754?
Whatever you want to do. If that makes sense to you.
Okay, and then again, we're going to put the invoice number that we're paying under the invoice number category, correct? 1754.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you want to make sure that when you're making a payment, you're paying for this particular invoice.
And so we're going to go all the way over to payments,
Good.
right? And we
Good.
just put in the 1890.
Okay.
And why did it do that?
Does not have that formula.
I don't either, because mine came up with a negative 1890.
That's correct.
Okay, well, it's in the parentheses where.
That's correct.
Okay, I would say, I didn't see it on yours, so I didn't know if yours went to 0. Okay, so yes, so now
Oh,
the
that's why.
total balance owed is 1,560.
Exactly. So that's how I want you to utilize the subsidiary ledger is when you make a payment, it's supposed to say negative because then ultimately when you total up the amount that you owe for the vendor in general, it shows that you only owe for one more invoice. Okay. Good.
There we go. All right, got it.
And then that is it for that one.
Now that is it for that one. Good.
Right.
All right. So then what happened next?
Let's see, we purchased office supplies from Office Supply Store for $150, and we paid with the business credit card.
Okay.
Okay. So we will obviously start with the journal, and we will start with the date of the 15th. We will look at my chart of accounts. We bought office supplies. So it's a operating expense is where I'm gonna be looking.
Okay, so no. When you buy office supplies, what happens to them?
They become an asset.
They become an asset, correct.
All right.
It's only when you use them in your store it becomes an expense.
Okay.
So in this case, we don't even have office supplies in the first place, so we have nothing to spend. So yes, you're
So
correct.
office supplies be 11,800.
Perfect.
Okay. And then below it will be our form of payment, which it said that we paid for it with the Visa, the business credit card.
Perfect.
So it would be Visa payable.
Good.
And I will look up that number in just 1 second for you, because I don't have it memorized. It is 2,200 or 22,000 rather.
Okay.
So we will have 150 on the debit side and then 150 on the credit side.
Excuse me.
And then I feel like we need to make a note here, but it doesn't really tell us what we purchased, so I don't know what kind of a note we would make.
General rule of thumb is, well, who did you buy these supplies from?
Just put the name of the store, Office Supply Store, and then maybe, well, it says Visa payable.
Yeah, so office supplies store should be sufficient.
Okay. So then next we would go to our general journal and we would go under our assets to office supplies.
Okay. General ledger. Office supplies.
I keep saying journal, sorry, ledger. It's in between inventory and creamer. We'll put the date. And then we will put that we paid with a Visa for
Okay.
the description.
All right.
I don't think we really needed to put anything there.
Yeah, you could also do that too.
Okay. And then that would be General Journal 5 for our post reference.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the debit, it will be 150. And then for the normal balance debit, it will also be 150 because it's our only transaction.
Perfect.
Let me format this. Then after that, we're going to go to our Visa card, which is going to be under our liabilities. then for our item, it's gonna be office supplies. And then general journal 5. And then under the credit, it will be 150. And 150 under credit on normal balance.
What is your credit going to be for your normal
Oh,
balance?
sorry. Let me see if my calculation. So it's equal. Plus. Oh, I did it backwards. Hang on.
Mine is just coming up with value, so I clearly did mine wrong here. So
And that's going to be plus this and then minus. All right, so it comes to $389.13 for our office supplies under credit.
Good. For the Visa payable. This is how much you owe on your credit card.
Right.
yeah, I'm sorry. I had to fix my formula here.
Yep.
I apologize. It kept coming up value, so I don't want to leave it and then come back and still be wrong.
Nope. We're not going to move on forward. If you need to stop and ask for the equation, I can give it to you. Do you need the equation?
I think so. So
Yes.
the box or the equal sign, the
Mm-hmm.
box above,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to, is it plus in the
Credit column.
Credit column.
and minus in the debit column?
Make sure you do the debit all the way to the left.
Yep.
Yeah, I did, and it keeps coming up with value, so I don't know what happened here.
So retype in your 150 in this box right here. It might be that.
Okay.
You might have added maybe 2 decimal points.
Maybe. Oh, okay, I get you. Yes, now calculated correctly. Okay, 389.13. Yes. All right.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Drama.
Okay, so office supplies, the Visa payable. Now we have to go to our subsidiary ledger.
Yes.
And we have to update office supply company that we purchased from.
Yes, because what do we have a possibility to do?
Return something.
We can return something. Okay, good. So office supply store. And I wasn't specific on office supplies, so that's okay. Just
We don't really need to make just office supplies. No invoice number. Post reference will be our general journal 5. No terms, no discount date, no due date, no prepaid amount. Invoice amount will be for the full 150. No returns or allowances, no discounts, but payment will have 150 because that is what we placed on our Visa.
yes, we paid using our Visa credit card, which also kind of acts as if you did pay it.
Minus this. Giving us a 0 balance for accounts payable.
Okay. Good.
That's everything, right? 1, 2. Okay.
Right. So what happened next?
Okay, let's see here. So, purchased from wholesale food store 60 pounds of sugar at 36 cents per pound, 3 cases, 12 packs of non-dairy creamer at $16.33 per case. And the total due would be $70.59. We pay with the business credit card and post to the subsidiary ledger.
Okay.
Okay, so Okay. Well, go to the journal. Get this down here. Go to the journal. We're still on the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
Purchase from Whole Foods. What did we purchase? Sugar and creamer. So, first we're going to, the first one is going to be sugar.
Okay, sugar.
Okay, so that is sugar. And that account number is 11770. Okay, and then there's creamer. Right? Dairy creamer. And that account is 11775. And it's Visa payable. And that is 22,000. Okay, so the sugar, the debit charge is $21.60. Okay, then the creamer is $48.99. So our total due is $70.59. And we're going to note that the purchase from wholesale food store.
Okay, good.
And that's it, right? There's nothing else really put there.
All right, perfect.
Okay. So next we will go to the ledger. And we are going to find the sugar. Okay, and 615. And we're going to put in 60 pounds of sugar. Or 60 pounds, that's it, not, not necessarily sugar, right?
Whatever it is, yeah, whatever makes sense to you. But yes, we are in the sugar account, so it makes sense just only put 60 pounds.
Okay, and then we're going to put the 2160 in the debit. And then we're going to go right below to the creamer. And put in the date. And here we have 3 cases, and then in parentheses, I don't know if it would matter, 12 packs. So 3 cases, 12 packs. Okay, and then the general journal number 5. Again, that will be a debit for $48.99. next, we're going to go to liabilities. As we paid with the Visa. June 15th. And we're going to put the wholesale food store. General fund.
All right. Well, I mean, I would be a little more specific on what you actually bought.
Oh,
What did-
here, okay.
Yo, so what
we
did you
can
buy?
put that we have the 60 pounds of sugar.
You don't have to be that specific, but you can just write
Okay,
sugar and
sugar
creamer.
and creamer. Okay.
Yeah, that way, because when you look at your credit card statement, do you see this? No, you just have the vendor.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You just have the vendor transaction, so at least you know what you actually bought from this vendor.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sugar and creamer. With a credit of the $70.59.
$70.59.
Bringing the account to $459.72.
Good.
Okay. And then next, we have to put it into inventory.
Inventory. Now, is this an inventory item?
Sugar, yes. And creamer, right? It's an asset.
Let's look at a chart of accounts. What section does it belong to under the chart of accounts?
Under assets.
Okay,
Or
but
business supplies.
it's just a business supply. Is it an inventory item?
Nope. Nope, just the coffee and the mugs are.
Okay. So no, you don't need to update your inventory for any reason.
All right.
Can I ask a question?
Go
Is
for
it
it.
not considered inventory because it would be something that would just be added to and already included in the total sale?
Price of the sale, yeah.
Correct.
You don't add. Okay.
Correct. So this is going to be
Yeah, I want to
considered.
make sure of that too. So
So when we move on to looking at adjustments, we're going to notice that these are just mere business supplies. Now, with business supplies, when we use them, you have two options because since this is directly correlated and related to inventory or sale of your inventory, right? Is it necessary to use the coffee creamer for all the coffees? Some people don't like creamer in their coffee. Some people don't like sugar in their coffee. So it's going to be considered a business expense, but you can also do cost of materials. And that's exactly what it is. If you look under your cost of materials, which is under your cost of goods sold, you will have cost of the cups, cost of the sugar, cost of the creamer. It's going to all be there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's a good question.
that's a good question. I want to know too. So
Okay,
'Cause I
so
was already waiting on the inventory sheet, trying to figure out how we were gonna put it in, so.
perfect. Okay.
and so then we have finished everything with that one, right?
We got one more thing to do.
Oh, we have to do is it did we do the subsidiary?
Yes, because what can we do? We might be able to return the sugar.
Oh yeah, so where to go? Wholesale foods.
Yes, not too sure about the creamer, but for sure the sugar. If it's unopened, yes, you can return it. But creamer, if you open the package, I believe you
Right.
cannot return it, even if it's sealed. Okay, so
Here you still know what you bought, the 60 pounds of sugar and the 3 cases of creamer.
if you want to be that specific, yes, you may do so.
I mean, okay, well, some people like,
Yeah, whatever it is, right? If
but I didn't know if that's what we should do for our business. So I'll just put it 50 pounds. Sugar, 3 cases of creamer. And there was no invoice number. No terms. Oh, post reference, journal 5.
no terms because we bought it in store.
Right, no due date dates, anything like that, no prepaid amount. The invoice amount was $70.59. So then a payment of $70.59. Get it. Do my formula. Okay, so we owe them nothing.
Good.
And now that's all.
Yep, that is it for this one. So now the next thing that we did for the same day, what happened here?
Receive a bill from Silver State Electrical, invoice number 3351 for $1,070, due in 4 days. We need to post it to the subsidiary ledger account. So we're not paying it yet.
No,
So
we're not paying it yet.
We're not going obviously into the journal, so we're just gonna post it.
It's still a transaction because what happens when you received a bill and you're not going to pay it yet? What are you creating?
I'm still acquiring the account. It's just gonna be an accounts payable.
Good.
Okay.
Right. Now, if you guys recall what the scenario is, now that we have Silver State Electrical, what did we hire them for?
The grinder, they had to redo the electrical.
Good. Where is the grinder located right now?
In our miscellaneous suspense account that's non-operable.
Yes.
So is that where I need to?
Because is this going to be included to the cost of getting the asset ready for service?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's where I want to place it instead of putting it in an accounts payable.
Remember, we need to do a double entry. So accounts payable is going to be the second account. But the first account that I want you to recognize is, where is the coffee grinder?
So we're going to put it in the miscellaneous suspense.
We're going,
Okay.
So your first account is, we're going to place it into miscellaneous suspense because this is going to be considered as part of the cost of the asset. Miscellaneous suspense, all right? And because we're not paying it now, we're going to create an accounts payable. So you need to dive into both accounts because that's what double entry requires.
Okay. So it'll be 1,070 on the debit side. Yeah. And then it'll be 1,070 on the credit side.
Mm-hmm.
And do you need the account numbers? You do. Okay, so the miscellaneous suspense account is 19,990. And the accounts payable is 20,000. And then for our note, it'll be Silver State Electrical, invoice number 3351. And then our terms will be net 4 days.
Invoice number 3351. Net 4 days. Okay, good.
Sorry, I'm typing.
That's fine.
Okay. So we're done there. We don't have to go to the check register because we did not write a check. So now we can go to our general ledger. We're gonna go to our assets and we're gonna go all the way down to the bottom to our miscellaneous suspense. Alright. So our date is 6/15. And then we're gonna reference our invoice number, which was again number 3351. All right. All right. Sorry, my computer got wigged out. And then we also want to take in reference that this was the electrical for the grinder, so to tie it all together.
Good. Electrical for grinder.
And that should be good enough for the description.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll be general journal number 5. And it is going to be under the debit column, the whole amount of $1,070. And equals this. Bringing our total to $4,158.07.
Good.
Okay. Then we need to go to our accounts payable, which is going to be under our liabilities and up at the top. Date will be 6/15. We're going to reference the invoice number 3351. And then it'll be general journal 5. And under the credit column, we're gonna add the $1,070, bringing our total to $12,228.35.
Good.
All right. Then, last but not least, we have to go to our subsidiary ledger,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to go under our vendors, and we have to find Silver State Electrical, which should be down towards the bottom. There it is. We're gonna put the date. For our notes, we're gonna reference the invoice number.
Not in the
We have
notes.
the invoice box. We need to put though that it's gotta have something to do with the grinder, right? Electrical for grinder.
If that's what you want to do, if you want to make that note, we can do it too.
Okay.
So electrical work for grinder.
Yeah. Invoice was 3351. General journal 5. No terms, no discount date, no, we do have a due date though.
So your terms would be.
Oh, nat 4,
There you go.
that's right. Making our due date be June 19th. Our invoice amount was for 1,070. And we have not made any payments, so we have an account payable amount owing of 1,070.
Yes.
And that's everything.
Good. So we met. I think we have time for two more before we can go on break.
Okay.
So what happened next?
Let's see here. Transfer coffee grinder out of miscellaneous suspense. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to start obviously in the journal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so we're transferring it out of miscellaneous suspense. So would the first one be the coffee grinder?
Good. And what account number is that?
That is the 15020. Okay.
15020.
Yes. And then the second one would be the miscellaneous suspense account, correct?
Yes, because we are moving it from one account to another, so we're intentionally zeroing it out.
Okay. But now I have to figure out what the cost of the coffee grinder was. So I can look back. Okay. Let me buy that.
Okay. So right now, where is our grinder currently located?
It's in the miscellaneous suspense.
Okay. What other things that were contributing to the cost of the grinder?
There would be shipping,
Okay.
electrical. I mean,
Yes.
I don't.
Good. Shipping.
Shipping,
Good.
tax.
Tax.
Um,
You said electrical, yes.
electrical for the word for it.
Uh-huh.
So, do you add all of those costs in for it?
What does miscellaneous represent?
So you're taking everything that has a cost that associates itself with that.
Correct. And here we've
Okay.
already added all up together.
Oh, okay. So the whole total here is what's left for, but that's for the brewer and the grinder. So does that matter?
We took the brewer out already.
Oh, oh yeah. Okay, I see. All right. Gotcha. All right,
Mm-hmm.
so then it's the total of the 4,158.07.
Okay.
Okay, so, all right.
415807. 415807. Okay.
Okay, and now notes, we're going to just say put into service
You could just say
or
move.
transfer,
Yeah,
transfer hours.
transfer.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Move or transfer.
Okay.
Right.
So then we have to then go to back to the miscellaneous suspense and remove it.
Okay. When did?
So
Okay.
we do this date. Okay. And then note of move calendar. And then the journal 5. And the amount of the 415807 in the credit column. Bringing your total to nothing.
Yes. Bringing my total to nothing.
Okay. Then though do we have to put it in under the grinder anywhere?
What did you journalize it?
Is the coffee grinder. So where's that number? 15. Okay, so go to the coffee grinder, which is the 1520, and in today's date. And we know it's the grinder, so we don't really have to put anything there other than, I guess, moved from miscellaneous suspense, but that's not necessary, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So general journal 5. And it's going to be the debit of the 4,158.07. And then we're done there. And we go to the subsidiary.
Okay. Where are you going to place it in the subsidiary ledger?
We don't, because we already did that, right?
What do you mean we already did it?
Oh, wait, when we purchased it?
Okay, so this is moving from one transaction to
right.
another. I mean, one account to another. Are we dealing with anybody when it comes to moving from one account to another?
No.
No. So therefore, we don't need a subsidiary ledger because these are people.
Right.
So this was pretty much an internal transaction.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Then that one's done.
Yep, that one's done.
All right.
All right. So me now, right?
Yes.
Anna's so quiet. She doesn't want to do any? Okay. I feel bad.
It's okay. No,
Okay.
it's okay. Don't worry about it.
All right. So we have purchase order number 170307 to Atlas Coffee Importers.
Mm-hmm.
We purchased 125 pounds of regular coffee and 125 pounds of Supreme coffee for a total cost of $366.25. So we are going to go to our purchase orders.
Good.
We're going to go to 170307. We're going to put today's date, or the date 6/15,
Good.
and then it's going to be Atlas Coffee. And it's going to be another 250 pounds of coffee. For a total of $366.25.
Okay, good. So let me see what we can do. Let me see. Can we quickly do the next one? I think we could do it in 5 minutes and then you can leave, Michelle.
Yeah, I have more than 5 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Then let's go ahead.
A minute or two over, it's fine.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do the next transaction over here. So we finally reached the next day, which is Sunday. And what is next?
We set up the store.
Okay, yes, we're going to set up the store. We're going to continue setting up the store. So what else does this... What?
Thank you.
So what is...
Plus.
So what is next when it comes to setting up the store? Sorry, this was a double date.
Gotcha.
It
I was
it,
gonna go on.
it was supposed to be that this was a continuation of this was on the previous page.
Gotcha.
It just yeah copied over.
No worries. So we establish a petty cash fund for
All
the
right.
$500.
Okay.
You are responsible to keep a good track record of the petty cash block box. Okay.
You meaning the accountant.
Right. And then, so now is this little piece underneath also part of that, or are we just going to set up the petty cash and then do whatever this is for the register?
Well, one is for the register, and one is for
Right,
the
that's
petty
what I said.
cash.
Are
They're
these
two.
two separate questions or things, right? So we're just doing the petty cash.
Okay, good. Yes, because the amount for the petty cash is 500. What is the
Right.
amount in the cash register?
Yeah.
Two different amounts.
Right.
So
So we're going to do the petty cash. It's going to be first.
yes.
And where'd that go? Petty cash. Oh, here it is. 10,200 is the number on petty cash. 200, and so it's going to be 500. Okay, and then the next one is checking.
Yes.
100, and then that's 500 in the credit column. Okay. And well, first we're going to go to the check register and write the check.
Good.
Okay. So it's still, oh no, it's the 16th. Sorry. Check number 1515. $500, and then it's to petty cash.
Okay. Whoever's the responsible for the petty cash fund. Yes. So in this case, since I know, the accountant can be anybody, so I'm just gonna just write petty cash. Right. Obviously, you're gonna write it to the person who's responsible for the petty cash, and they're responsible to go get the cash out from that check.
Oh,
Yes, because if you write a check out to petty cash, can you cash that out?
no.
No.
You make it payable to somebody.
It has
You
to be
could do
paid.
cash, but
Yeah.
So we're back to the journal because now we have to put that. Would you put that you established petty cash, or obviously the transaction itself tells you that?
Yeah. So good.
Check
Estab.
number 1515. What? Sorry.
No, that's perfectly fine. Establish petty cash.
Okay. we're going to go then to the assets in the ledger and bring up the petty cash, which is the 10,200 account. Okay, now would I put here the check number or anything in the amount?
Yes.
Well, the amount's going in the column.
Well,
but
yes, but check number would be important, yes. I'm also going to write that I established it because the difference between this and you making the next debit is to either, yeah, not replenish, to either
Right.
increase or decrease it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, and then general journal 5. And then the debit is 500. And then we're going to checking. And put in the check number.
Not 6/16, my bad. Hopefully I didn't write that in the date over
I
here.
know I put 15 too.
6/16. All right, so here we are. Check number 1515.
And it's the credit column for 500.
Bringing my account balance to me.
$1,799.92.
Good.
And that is it for those as well.
Yes, this is an internal transaction because you're not dealing with anybody. So good. So this is where we're going to leave off because right now it is exactly 3:39. So I'm going to call break. So please be back by 3 o'clock. I'll give 20 minutes for, so Michelle can come back in time. Okay?
Okay.
Very
All right,
good.
guys.
Yeah, then.